Well, for 2024, it was really all about new experiences, new opportunities, and not just on the NR Night in America side, but the iRacing side as well. Some leagues that have come on in, trying new car track combos. But today will be the first mark of a stream that is not really ran by NR Night in America, broadcasted and produced by everyone here at Nashville, Tennessee, but ran by a league named OSRL. This league is pretty interesting. Why? Because you have drivers that race in NR Night that run it consistently every Thursday night. And the talks were, will we ever go league racing again? Will we ever broadcast other leagues to showcase what iRacing has outside of NR Night in America? And all those questions, well, they can all cease to exist, because for the first time ever, an NR Night in America broadcast will introduce league racing like you've never seen it before. This is OSRL. This is the semifinal race of their 2024 campaign. The Runnings Racing Designs Left Front Shot GP. I'm John Ramos, the voice of NR, saying hello and welcome as we're trackside getting ready to qualify for this 150-lap race. I look and I see drivers that you see every Tuesday or Friday night, but for the sim racers, you see them, whether it's in a C-fix race, a B-fix, an A-fix, and everyone has a story, including that driver right there, Cole Freilich, currently the points leader in the 2024 season. Freilich, well, he hasn't had a win this year, but ahead by 9 points over none other than William Schmitt. Schmitt, an e-ticket champion, phenom on the league racing side, and he's willing to see if he can roll into the finale at Auto Club just next week with the points gained. Just 9 back, and the points they work very interestingly. We'll get into that in just a matter of moments as the viewers file on in and the drivers head to the racetrack. But Dominic Barbagallo gets his qualifying run in. He goes 8th. Ryan Vargas, NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, just got done with his time. There's Braden Muhvic. He is actually a former OSRL champion, make it 2-time OSRL champion back in, I believe, Season 5 and Season 6. You see Freilich still running on the racetrack. Kendall Carpenter, that's a name that is very common, and a scheme very common as well. His Home Depot Chevrolet now works his way off turn 2. Gabe Wood making a return live on this YouTube channel for the first time since 2021. That's summer from the 2021 NWB 400. So names you know, names you'll soon learn, and a lot of interesting things left to go. Top of the board, Cole Freilich, his Toyota drops down at 21.843. Came quickest just the last time by. Will continue to run on through, aiming at what looks to be 30 drivers to start this race. Gavin Newton is here as well, sponsor of the Runnings Racing Designs Left Front Shot GP. We're going to get into why it's named that in just a moment. Aiden Walker, no time just out of him yet. And for all the viewers that have filed on in, we say hello, we say welcome, as it's League Night in America. Could we call it that on this Thursday night edition? The Runnings Racing's Left Front Shot GP. What does that mean? What is that name, and why is it called that? We're at IRP. We're located in Indiana. What is the GP name for? Well, let's start off with this. Runnings Racing is actually Gavin Newton, and he goes ahead and spots for ARCA teams. Most recently, should we say, also known for sponsoring for Fast Track. Anybody know who Presley Soar is? Well, he is an ARCA Menard Series driver, and sometimes he'll head down and do ARCA East at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, run ARCA races at Salem. But he was most known for his running at IRP. He was up inside the top 10 racing for Fast Track. He had a great car. It wasn't just put together to log laps and maybe park it after a X amount of time. He knew, and so did the team, that they had an opportunity to win that race. This was back in July of 2024. And then what happened? His left front shock said goodnight and slammed the turns 3 and 4 wall. The left front shock broke. Once again, that ARCA race at Indianapolis Raceway Park, and it broke everything. He bent the window net bracket. The right front control arm went into the oil pump. That car was straight junked. See ya, good night. And because of that, well, Runnings Racing, a.k.a. Gavin Newton's, decided to go ahead and broadcast what we have today. So it's going to be exciting to see how that all rolls around. Joseph Armstrong, we have him down as the number 20 on our overlays, but we'll be running the number 22 as qualifying looks to come to a standstill. 150 laps, that's the scheduled distance for tonight's race. as we are aiming at 28 drivers to take the green flag. And for the ones that are wondering, well, where was the marketing? There was no guarantee that we were going to do this. Well, actually, as of, I want to say, midnight today, around the 12 o'clock hour, maybe on the East Coast, we realized, hey, we could possibly go ahead and stream this, and let's give it a test. Let's see if league racing can work on the IDK Player YouTube channel. And let's go ahead and see how this all rolls out. Let's talk points once again. Coming into tonight, William Schmitt needs to make up 9 points over that of Cole Freilich. Freilich has not won a race this season. There's also a drop race. So if you look at the point standings and how they run, this is round 14 of 15. As of this moment, 12 races have counted. The worst finish out of any of the races this season would go ahead and drop. You see some actual local short tracks take that design. I believe it's Berlin that runs the same way, where you can have a drop race just in case you DNF or you can't make it to a show. In this case, OSRL does the exact same way. William Schmitt has taken that to his advantage, and that's why he is only 9 points back. Now, can he go up there and fight? That's going to be one to watch. Joseph Armstrong, Braden Muhvic, Taylor's oldest time. They're on the front row. Aiden Walker back in 7th. Looking at some notables here. Noah Carmichael, Dominic Barbagalla, William Schmitt now back in the 22nd position. Needs to make up time, and how can he do it? Well, logging laps and hopefully staying out of trouble. The points, pretty simple. 2 points per position. Unless you win the race, you get 6 points total. It goes 2 points down all the way till you finish in the 11th position, to where 12th on back, it's separated by just 1. So we'll continue to give you a rough draft estimate on where the points line up, with Cole Freilich starting the race up in 3rd, and that of William Schmitt starting back in 22nd. The championship bid for Freilich will expand, but could shrink throughout the race. We'll continue to give you the rundowns as we get ready to roll. Let's go ahead and see your starting lineup for the Runnings Racing's Designs Left Front Shock GP. Starting on the front row, just mentioned, Joseph Armstrong and Braden Muhvic look to lead us to green, with Cole Freilich and Jeffrey Stan in row number 2. Row number 3, Joshua Chin and Harry Grindel line up and ready to roll. Row 4, Aiden Walker and Gabe Wood get ready to see what they can do up inside the top 10. Gavin Newton and Ryan Vargas will lock out the top 10 positions, with Jack Painter and Kendall Carpenter back in row number 6. Row 7, it's Braden Linder with Henry Kalhoff. For heading to row number 8, where you see Mo Perry and Isaac Johnson. Row 9, Noah Carmichael and Steven Gibson, with row number 10 lining up as Nolan Stanford and Dominic Barbagalla. Row number 11 sees Ruby S. Ooh, man, that's how you know we haven't probably fully gotten ready for this stream. Estes with William Schmitt to his outside. Chris Pervolakis with Noah Malakshek. Gonna need an update on those names. With row 13 being John Daniels and Michael Dietsch. Row 14, Jonathan Oates and Tristan Baker line it on up. That's 28 drivers leading us into green. 150 laps. Once again, IRP. It's an interesting track because it's flat, really 12 degrees of banking. When you get a little bit higher, expect 2 lanes to be the dominant force. The outside lane definitely the dominant side. But we can see that 3rd lane really come into play. Exciting to see the 5/8 short track mile. And the interesting thing about IRP, well, pretty simple. It also has a 2.5 mile road course, 15 turns surrounding the track, and also holds the NHRA Nationals, as it's not just a short track that is on property, it's multiple different forms of racing that take place throughout the 2024 and 2025 season soon to come. So the cars have all gridded, we get ready to go green. Braden Muhvic on the outside, Joseph Armstrong on the bottom. In a matter of moments, they'll head on to the racetrack and get ready to roll. Tomorrow night, we'll have Enter Night in America live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on the IDK Player YouTube channel. We get ready to continue with our off-season information, and e-ticket is on the horizon. We'll continue to give you those updates as time goes on. IRP, a track that's not new to this YouTube channel, but definitely new names will be on display here tonight with names you know. The question goes down the live chat, who do you think's gonna win? And do you want to see more leagues displayed on the IDK Player YouTube channel? We continue to have a push for it. It will continue to happen, and maybe even into 2025. Let's get ready to go green. Ones to watch tonight, definitely the front row. Joseph Armstrong, Braden Muhvic, Cole Freilich as well, still searching for his first win in 2024. William Schmitt, can he come from the back to the front? Kendall Carpenter, what can he open up on this short track? Drivers from different communities on full display tonight, whether it's Mooncar, NR Night in America, OSRL, even area, we've seen drivers racing that. Monday through Friday, there's always something different going on the iRacing simulator. And we're glad that you have decided to tune in tonight on this late scheduled night of racing. The drivers will come down, they'll check pit road speed, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and say those magical words. God speed drivers. You are go for throttle up. Excitement is high. They'll line back up and get ready to go green. Joseph Armstrong, Braden Muhvic, what can they do? Freilich, Stanton, Chin, Grindell, Walker, Wood, Newton. A path to a championship looks great for Freilich as of this moment. But in 150 laps, a lot can change, and it can change in a hurry. Short track racing with this Gen 4 stock car means high horsepower, well on the throttle and hard on the brakes, and not a lot of rear end downforce. Look at the clearance on the back end of this Gen 4 stock car. And then look at how the nose is shaped. Pushing, shoving, and moving. We expect to see most of it here tonight as we get ready to go green. It's the only race tonight. Once again, we will be back tomorrow for your regular scheduled NR Night in America broadcasts. The year of new brings something to your screen that you haven't seen, but you could see more of in the future. Pace car makes a hard left on the pit road as it's showtime from Indiana. Armstrong Toyota, Muhvic Chevrolet. The semifinal race of the OSRL season is ready to take place. Let's light the fuse for the Runnings Racing's design. Left front shot GP at IRP. Braden Muhvic on the inside trying to clear Armstrong. Not able to get it just yet. That was through 1 and 2 and back to 3 and 4. Muhvic leads lap 1. And a tough way to do it. You can see Joe doesn't want to give up that spot. Who can take control early? Who can command the lead and hold on throughout the contingency of this race? Stanton has company behind. That's Cole Freilich. Still hasn't been able to make the charge. Freilich has to worry about Grindell. Mostly single file now as Joseph Armstrong takes the race lead off turn 2. Muhvic back to second. The real fight's really middle of the pack. Aiden Walker, Christian Kendall, Kalhoff, Painter. Toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel, still arguing over positions. And this is what you love to see early in the race. Who can get what spot? Do you let them by early? Do you challenge them if you know that they're quicker? Ryan Vargas works his way up to the 7th position. Newton slotted in 8th. You can see Aiden Walker trying to look to the outside of the Van Dorn Chevrolet. Top-heavy racetrack. It's been like that at IRP for quite some time, including since the oval refresh that we had just as of last year. We expected it maybe to be more of a 2-lane track When we're talking to drivers as of recent, they said they can make the bottom work in the middle just a little bit more than what they're used to seeing, and that comes down to track temperature and what actually the temperature is in the session. Watching right now, Jonathan Chin on the inside, number 93. Trying to take the shorter way around. Chin, Season 7 champion of OSRL. Allows Grindel on through. He'll now slot into the 5th position. Up front, the fight for the top spot. Not over yet. Joseph Armstrong, 22. Braden Muhvic, 42. Trying to see if he can get underneath the Toyota. 7 laps in. If you're just tuning on in, we say hello and welcome. It's rush hour as it's league night for NR Night in America, the Runnings Racing's Designs Left Front Shot GP, the semifinal race for the OSRL Premier Series here in 2024. The season finale will be next Thursday at Auto Club Speedway. Continue to watch the championship battle. Freilich has very much opened the gap up. From the start of the race with Schmitt starting in 22nd, but now William Schmitt, the biggest mover, has worked his way up to the 12th position. You see him in view. On throttle time, different lanes already in effect. Who can work with what early on to make up time before the field spreads out? And what are the cautions going to be like? Because there's no stage racing in this league. It's pretty simple. We start the race, and the only reason we would have a stoppage is if there's an incident on track warranting that, which means in theory you could go all the way through without an issue. Gabe Wood allows William Schmitt on by as he jumps up to the 10th position. Armstrong still leads. Braden Muhvic in second. Jeffrey Stand in third. Freilich in no man's land sitting in the 4th spot. Grindel and Chin 5th and 6th. That's how they line up the 3 and 4. And starting to see a lot of don't push on the back bumpers. Very important, I would say, for a race like this, including when you're on a short track, a flat track at that. Because if you get moved in the outside wall, it's going to hurt. And we've seen it before where it's torn up race cars. Chin to the outside, 1/4 inch off the retaining wall. Thought about taking a long way around to get a run off turn 4. Only issue is it opened the door for Ryan Vargas, maybe to make a move to the inside. Vargas elected to bail out, but Aiden Walker now right on the cusp of making a move for that 7th spot. Schmitt is not being denied. He's up to 9th. Further in the pack, Christian Kendall. Oh, check that. Kendall Carpenter, Gavin Newton. Still toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel. 28 drivers scheduled to take the green flag. 27 were able to do it. And so far, all running on the lead lap. As of this moment, Michael Diaz projected to be the first driver in that lap traffic. So the top 2 pulled away. That was Armstrong, that was Muhvic. They got well out of harm's way, and then all of a sudden, Jeffrey Stand said, I would like to join this battle. Maybe I can close in. Now the top 3 is separated by just half a second, 15 laps into this race. The last time by, Jeffrey Stand ran the quickest lap out of any of the top 3. He ran a 22.4, while Armstrong and Muhvic ran a 22.5. This time by, once again, fastest on the racetrack with a 22.405. Muhvic a 22.483. Joseph Armstrong a 22.5110. Now what we love about Joe is he's historically been a driver that likes to take the lead early, but then take control of the race. Maybe save tires out in front to see if there will be a pattern with others behind him. We've seen him do that in other leagues. We've seen him do that in NR Night in America. But when dealing with a Muhvic and dealing with a Stanton, when the pace changes and it's not to their liking, they're willing to challenge and go ahead and make the move up forward. You see Joe taking a defensive line down the inside of turn 4, while Muhvic was hard on the throttle off the exit and really through the center of 3 and 4. We're going to see if he can sneak away through. So Armstrong on a long run strategy. Muhvic now wanting to take command. Well, gets into the outside wall just for the time being, but won't get any pressure from behind. Top 3 breakaway. There's Freilich in 4th. make it 6-7 car lengths. The difference between him, Grindel, and that of Joshua Chin. Chin in the 6th position. There's Schmitt right of your screen. Inside with maybe pressure from Ryan Vargas. Vargas in the middle. Schmitt on the inside. What can Joshua Chin do to maybe leapfrog into the 6th position before the 26 of the 79 have an opportunity? I worry about what Schmitt did there. He had to go from 22nd up to 8th, tearing the tires up, having to be a little bit more aggressive than most of the field when they're really out there to log laps, keep things in order. Did he tear his stuff up, at least the tires, should we say? And have we seen him peak at least through this stint and maybe watch him fall back to a 9th or an 8th where an Aiden Walker or a Gabe Wood currently lie? And that's going to be the fun thing to see. Schmitt inside has never won an OSRL championship. The most championships ever won by anyone in OSRL came from Braden Muhvic, winning Season 4 and Season 5. Other drivers you have seen run in this race will have been past champions. Joshua Chin, the defending series champion, not the championship bid he would like for this season, but as of recent has shown a lot of speed. He's up in that 6th position, challenging now Grindel. Grindel on the outside, Chin downstairs. Continue to fight back to 1 and 2. And this is the point of the season where for some drivers it gets a little interesting. Because for some, they're trophy hunting, like a Muhvic, like an Armstrong. Armstrong hasn't run the entire 2024 campaign here in Season 8. You like to walk away with a late season win, while others like Freilich and Schmitt know, hey, winning today doesn't mean we're going to go out there and win a championship come Auto Club. Would Schmitt like to go out and win? Of course he would. Would Freilich? Yes, he would as well. But don't be surprised if those two have in the back of their mind and asking their spotters, where is the driver running? Whether it's Schmitt, whether it's Freilich, how far back are they? What's the lap times? Am I on track to possibly have a net gain and net loss? So something to talk about, something to think, to keep in the back of the mind with 125 laps to go. Jeffrey Stanton. Great run so far in this race. He's still the quickest on track as the lap times continue to drop off. Competition ahead. Can he find his way around Braden Muhvic? Muhvic, defensive line, moving to the middle. Stan seeing if he can get a run off the top. Still the top 3 separated by half a second. For all the NR Night in America viewers that have tuned on in, hello, welcome. NR Night in America is live tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. This is League Night in America. Maybe a future series we would love to do as we continue to monitor and watch all the great action from the front to the back. Freilich, you saw him there in 4th. He has had no pressure from anyone since in or around lap 7. But just when we thought William Schmitt was going to drop off, he fights for the 5th position, just underneath for a 6, can't get his way through. Riding on with Ryan Vargas. Vargas looking, seeing what he can do. Aiden Walker there in the 9th spot. Schmitt wanting to clear, but it's just stuck on that bottom. And it's not like Chin has gone away. It's not like Chin is losing time. He's just holding on to the rope for dear life. He has match speed with that of William Schmitt. And all Schmitt is hoping for is maybe a mistake to where he can slot in line and then bring the pressure to the machine in front. That's Grindel. Ryan Vargas. Inside, 3 wide. Just a peak, not able to make it work. 5th, let's say through 10th, all in a bubble of their own. Could even throw Kendall Carpenter in there in 11th. Looking at a near 6-car battle for position. William Schmitt underneath Grindel found his way through Chin. can he muscle his way through up inside the top 5? And that's going to be big to think about. From 22nd up to 5th, just gets it there coming off turn 2. And they're going to love this one. Once again, coming into this race, they were separated by 9 points. As of this moment, the championship bid looks to be Freilich ahead by 11 points of William Schmitt. And remember, that's heading into a track that William Schmitt is really good at, Auto Club. If you know anything about racing on this YouTube channel, you know every time we head out west of Fontana, Schmitt is someone you need to watch. So can he stop the bleeding? Can he show enough muscle, enough urgency to bring the fight to Cole Freilich? Last time with the lap time, Schmitt was a little slower than Freilich, off by maybe a tenth, maybe just a little less. A 22.7 to a 22.8. And ahead to the top 3, well, it was Parade single file to the outside, and now Stan trying to perform a little magic, maybe a sweep to the bottom. It's going to be tough to find a way around Braden Muhvic. And it's interesting, you got 3 drivers in line, and everyone's got a different mindset here. If you're Joseph Armstrong, you're still in the idea of let's log laps, let's hold on and see if we can keep these drivers at bay. And if they go to challenge, we're going to challenge back. You're Braden Muhvic. You want to leapfrog. You want to get to the race lead. Muhvic showed a lot of urgency just last night into the AM hours, including into the late afternoon, because he wants to win this race. Not just because it's an OSRL race, but because this broadcast on this channel, he talked about how awesome it is to bring league racing now to the viewers of NR Night in America. So there's a sense of pride to go out there and win this, but he's also having to focus on Jeffrey Stan, who's joining in the 3rd spot, who very easily wants to pass. So half of his brain is thinking, let's go out there and leapfrog the 22, get around him. But let's also not lose that 2nd spot, because Stan has proven to be just a little bit quicker. But once he has caught the 42 and the 22, he's not been able to do what William Schmitt did for the 7th and 6th position. Harry Grindel has Chin to his inside. And Ryan Vargas has had just a beautiful view of this entire fight, whether it was the fight for the 11th spot, the fight for the 10th spot. Something to keep in mind for all the viewers, there is a bonus point. If you lead the most laps in this race, you'll be given 1 point. As of right now, Joseph Armstrong is projected to get that, because oh boy, has he gone out there and led 37 of the 39 laps, while Braden Muhvic, well, he has taken 1 of those. So keep that all in mind with the top 2. If Armstrong takes that bonus point, it will leave the bonus point away from Freilich and William Schmitt as they continue to fight up until the season finale come next week. A lot of racing, a lot of excitement. You're watching the OSRL Premier Series. Runnings Racing's Designs Left Front Shot GP at IRP. The only race tonight, as we continue to monitor, watch what a year it has been, watching the racing. These drivers racing in Daytona, racing really all over the calendar. And this is a driver's league. Somebody may be saying, why are we here at IRP? Why is this race not maybe like a Daytona or a Talladega? What's interesting about OSRL, if I'm not mistaken, they only do 1 super speedway a season. They don't go to Talladega, they go to Daytona. And for the viewers back at home, they say, oh man, that could shake things up, that'd be really cool. But this league is really meant for the racers. Can they give each other a car track combo that's exciting enough so when you go to work or you go to school, and then all of a sudden the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour comes around and you may be thinking, oh, should I go to bed? And then you realize, oh man, wait, we got a great car track combo. Let's see if we can run it and have some fun before we have the shut-eye and start our Friday morning. So a Racers League on display. That's why we've seen such great racing throughout the pack. Kendall Carpenter, it's been fun to watch. Hasn't really left the top 13. Watching, waiting to see what he can do. Him and Gabe Wood have really been in that bubble. You kind of want to chuckle a little bit because they've seen it all already in this race, just 44 laps in. But there's been comers and goers, and they've just been really spread all around them. Racing aplenty here tonight. As they continue to watch, we'll keep an update here on Cole Freilich. Look at the lap times, bottom of your screen. Lap 41 was a 3.87 back, was a 4.2 back to Braden Muhvic. And Joseph Armstrong as of lap 44. What does that compare to a William Schmitt? Schmitt 6 back, and then back to a 6.83. So Freilich a little bit more of a drop-off to his championship competitor. He's mostly now running the middle lane. Not a lot of separation through this race, but that lap traffic that's been looming the last couple of laps, maybe a little bit of concern is starting to come into play. Joseph Armstrong will be the first one on the scene. Can he race in traffic? He's had clean air most of this run, and can Braden Muhvic use this opportunity to his benefit? If Joe can't get through the lap traffic, can Muhvic use them as a pick to leapfrog the race leader? And maybe can Stanton do the same? Maybe trying to nudge his way through. Keep an eye on it. Starts with the 57 machine of Michael Deitch, Dominic Barbagallo, who is now also already one lap down, him and Mo Perry. Then you got Gavin Newton. Newton once again the spotter to Presley Sora. Actually, 2 drivers in this race were a part of the fast track team when Presley Sora slammed the outside wall in 3 and 4. That actually being, if we're not mistaken, that of Isaac Johnson. There's Johnson there in the 14th position, currently fighting. He was one of the crew guys for the race. Told us an interesting story before this one. General Tire was not too pleased after the wreck because, you know, the puncture that was on the right front, it was pretty bad. I mean, destroyed the entire car, and a lot believe it was due to the tire pressures. Well, Isaac Johnson was working on the tire pressures for that race, and a lot of pointing out who's at fault. At the end of the day, in racing, it's very easy for things to go wrong. And you know what? We got to give it to him, because when he watched back on that ARCA race, Presley Sora was moving. So clearly there was a great strategy at hand. Maybe just the PSI was off by a little. And that itty-bitty change could have been the difference between winning and losing. And unfortunately for the Sora camp, it ended up being a hit to the outside wall. Story time, always great. You can always enjoy it watching Joe as he continues to fight his way through traffic. Looks to find his way through Jonah. Easy in, easy out. Lap traffic ahead. Now 2 by 2. That's John Daniels. Noah Carmichael lined up and rolling. And the one that has not been able to work through the traffic the best actually happens to be Jeffrey Stanton. Stan got caught up, being toe-to-toe with the 23. While that all goes down, a change for position. Joshua Chin finding his way around William Schmitt. Schmitt dropping back to 6 and already showing a lot slower lap times than everyone else. He dropped a 23.1 just last time by. Joshua Chin, a 22.9. Ryan Vargas going at it with Harry Grindell. Grindell, Carpenter, Aiden Walker as well. There's Walker on the outside of Carpenter. Carpenter on the bottom. Gets down on the flat. Not able to work his way through. And this bubble of drivers have really just been stuck fighting each other. It's the 8th place, 9th place, 10th place, 11th place machines that are all just in a world of their own. And I believe when the checkered flag waves, they're going to have this huge sigh of relief thinking, man, they really race hard. But if you look at the times and how much they've really moved throughout the race, it's very interesting. Carpenter has been as low as 13th and high as 9th. Ryan Vargas, low as 10th. Currently in the 8th position now, but high as 7th. And they've just been passing it back and forth, back and forth. You can see the fight really going at it there with Grindell. You continue to see more of it as Jack Painter has started to work his way up the leaderboard. He's up to 11th. Gabe Wood dropping back to the 13th position. It's the biggest lead we have seen so far tonight for Joseph Armstrong, making a 7-8, maybe an 8-3, as he has opened up a sizable 5.5 car length advantage over that of Braden Muhvic. 58 laps in out of the 150 laps scheduled here tonight. You're watching, once again, the semifinal race for OSRL's Premier Series, the Runnings Racing Designs Left Front Shock GP at IRP. Old Freilich, that's where he is on track. There's Joshua Chin, who is starting to eat away a little bit into the advantage the 15 had at one point. Comparing Freilich's lap time to William Schmitt, they draw near even. We're talking a 23.18 versus a 23, now also 1.8. Matter of fact, 8.8. They just about tied on lap times. That's for 4th and 6th. And Joshua Chin, well, was actually a little bit quicker, but now the lap traffic at DH is starting to plague the run he was giving to possibly lock his way into the fast four. Pit stops, will we see them? Well, that's still very much up for question. 90 laps left to go. Left side of your screen, you see where the top 20 are running out of the 28 drivers that have entered and 27 that took the green flag. Once again, to all the NR Night in America viewers that have tuned on in, we say hello and welcome and glad you're taking the opportunity and time to watch League Racing. We're trying to open up a segment throughout the 2025 season for NR Night in America to see if we can have a league night where we can showcase different leagues in the iRacing community and see if they can get the exposure they very much deserve. Absolutely fantastic racing tonight at an OSRL. And we know there's been talks of maybe adding more leagues to the bid, maybe an area, maybe an IORA. Heck, who knows, maybe even a Road to Pro. You never know who has an opportunity of becoming a part of League Night in the near future. And right now, what's great about League Night, you see names you recognize, you root for them, you see other names that you may not want to forget, because maybe one day they'll be in an e-ticket event. Maybe one day they'll be in the Contender Series, the College Series, or even the iRacing Coca-Cola Series. $87 laps to go for the ones that have tuned in late. Quick update, we have gone caution-free, and every lane is up for grabs. Outside, middle, inside. The worry was maybe this would be a dominant, heavy race. But since the oval refresh, IRP has shown that that middle lane can very much work. But if you know how to use it, we've even seen drivers go all the way down the inside, kind of tap that yellow line. Indianapolis Raceway Park, also known as Lucas Oil, plays a part in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. At one point, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, then Busch and Nationwide, with the Craftsman Truck Series went here until Nationwide worked their way to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then the Truck Series had a hiatus from this track, came back in 2022. I didn't go to that race. I really wish I did. And when I saw how great it was, I knew it was going to be a bucket list. So when I had the opportunity to run the pre-race show and call a race at Anderson over the PA for the Redbud 400, that was on a Saturday, and I just knew if we can go out there as a group to IRP on that Friday night, it would be great. Oh, by the way, it was great. It was fantastic. It was fun. I'm so glad to be a part of it. 84 to go. Armstrong's lead has opened up, leading the majority of this race. He's just a couple laps away from locking in the guarantee slot of most laps led. And that will take the bonus point away from Freilich or Schmitt, who already don't have the best odds of getting it. For Schmitt, if he can finish in front of Freilich and make that 9-point gap go down to a 7-point gap, it would be good. It would be very much beneficial, once again, heading to a track that I believe William Schmitt has the advantage at in Fontana. Aiden Walker. Oh, just underneath the 26. That of Ryan Vargas. Braden Linder. Watching, waiting there in the 11th spot. He's fighting hard. He's trying to get to the rear of that number 93. More drivers continuing to either go a lap down or try to pass for position in the respectful size. Armstrong, Muhvic really struggling with lap traffic. Freilich has moved up to the 3rd position. As Jeffrey Stanton, there he is, in number 61, looked to have either come to pit road, maybe even have a mistake. Let's go check in on him. Yes, he did. Green flag pit stops are on, and we were wondering when it was going to come. For Jeffrey Stanton, it's an undercut on Joseph Armstrong and Braden Muhvic. That moves Freilich into 3rd, Chin into 4th, Carpenter into 5th, William Schmitt back to 6th. Now start wondering, there is that opportunity for this race to go green the rest of the way. We are in that pit window if you're Schmitt. Do you pit now, knowing you've already had a great short run car, or do you wait it out a little bit, still looking for that yellow? I just don't know if we'll see it. We've already seen a lot of guys come to pit road. When does Muhvic come in? When does Armstrong come in? Here's Freilich. He has Joshua Chin. I don't expect Chin to make a move just yet until maybe he finds a way around the 15. And I think if Freilich loses that 3rd position, it may be time to buy to come in. Here's the move for Chin. 76 laps remaining. Gabe Wood, first retiree of the race. Chin underneath. As you see the 61 machine work his way through. That Jeffrey Stanton. Stanton on fresher tires, running a whole lot better lap times than most of the rest of the field. And you can see it just off speed alone. Can Muhvic beat Armstrong? That's going to be the new question. He's 2 seconds back. At some point, he's going to come to pit road. What's great about Joseph Armstrong, he did exactly what he's known to do. Take the lead, challenge, and once you win that challenge, take control. If you want to save tires, let the drivers run at your pace. Even if it seems like they're getting a little aggressive and anxious to find a way in and find a way around. And that's how he was just able to work. Now he's really putting the punches down to Muhvic and the rest of the field, opening up a 2-second gap. Chin finds his way through Freilich, and now he's coming to pit road. Freilich stays out on the track, Carpenter stays out, William Schmitt is in. This is the strategy. You don't want to pit on the same lap as Cole Freilich. Once again, 9 points coming in. That's what separated the difference. It's money stop time for William Schmitt. If this is the perfect stop he is looking forward to, can he go out there, run the fastest laps, and hope for a mistake out of the Freilich 15? Freilich is now in. Yeah, so it's only going to be about a 1 lap difference between both of them. Freilich on the pit road, Ryan Vargas on the pit road, followed by Aiden Walker. We still haven't seen the top 2 come in yet. Joseph Armstrong putting William Schmitt a lap down. The real question is, where does Freilich come out and where does William Schmitt slot on in? And that's when it's going to come down to the crew chief and the spotters say, hey, push hard or don't go hard at all. Run your race. Freilich coming off pit road. Here's William Schmitt. With that move and the undercut, William Schmitt does not get out in front of Cole Freilich, but they'll be slotted provisionally 1-2 in the running order. And that's not first and second when they all cycle on through. Right now, provisional race lead is going to go to Stanton, which is a huge pit strategy. Jeffrey Stanton pitted early for the undercut, trying to take the track position. He was right now currently provisional race leader. And the lap times we're looking at, he is still projected to be the race leader, even when Joseph Armstrong and Braden Muhvic come on in. Freilich in the 12th position. maybe 8th when they cycle on through. William Schmitt projected to be 9th as well. And it could actually be a little bit closer up the leaderboard because some of these guys like Daniels, they pit really early, but they didn't have the positioning on the racetrack to go ahead and show for it. So 66 laps are remaining here in the Runnings Racing's Designs Left Front Shock GP. And the racing's been fantastic. This is why we want to promote more league racing, including leagues like OSRL. If you would like to one day join OSRL, you can go ahead and sign up for their league. Matter of fact, when it was announced that we would be broadcasting with them today, apparently they got a huge influx of sign-ups. So if you feel like you love to go toe-to-toe with these guys, you can go ahead and sign up now through the iRacing League page. Here's Muhvic. Here's Carpenter. Kendall Carpenter, a winner in NR Night in America, an e-ticket driver. OSRL regular. Runs really everywhere. Always find him, whether it's in a hosted, a C-fix, an A-fix. And there's Jeffrey Stanton, unlapping himself on Braden Muhvic. So no doubt about it, when Muhvic and Armstrong cycle their way through, as long as we don't get a caution, Stanton will be the race leader. And then get ready for the mass shuffle on the deck. This is why we love caution-free races, because strategy comes into play. Joe is staying out as long as he can, so is Braden Muhvic, because they have enough trust in their car to make the speed up late in the race. Does Stan have the trust to hold that speed late in the race when the tires start to bleed and deplete? Joshua Chin now projected to go in the 2nd position when the cycles run on through. Still waiting for Grindel, Carpenter, Muhvic, and Armstrong to make their way through. They're the final 4 drivers that have yet to make a pit stop. It's very exciting to watch how this all runs out. Lindor. Lined up with Palakis. Freilich in the 9th spot. He's under fire. This is 4th position. This could also be for the championship bid. Schmitt in 10th on the racetrack. Freilich in 9th. For everyone watching back at home, we always say this line. The reason we broadcast is to give you a reason to tune in next week. There's no bigger reason to tune in next Thursday to the championship in Fontana than what you have right now. Schmitt poised to find his way around Freilich. Freilich poised to stay out in front of him. And to think that Freilich has fresher tires, so is the 15 saving, and is the 79 pushing. Muhvic is in. He comes on the pit road. Joseph Armstrong going for the overcut, not just on multiple drivers, but should we say the entire field, looking to be the last one to make his way on the pit road. And it's a bold strategy. We're going to see if it works. Freilich, Schmitt, oh, you saw him trying at it again. The iron's hot right now. That's the interesting thing. What can you work with? Who can you move if you can, or if you should? Grindel to pit road. Joseph Armstrong to pit road. Cycles out 8 seconds behind Stanton. Jeffrey Stanton, race leader. Now can he hold on to it for the next 56 laps? Oh, we got damage on the 42. That's Braden Muhvic. And a lot of it at that. Now he punctured in the nose, heavy. He's running 2nd on the racetrack. Let's check back and see what happened. This is a replay. He's by himself. As of this moment, this was after the pit cycle. And the question is, was there an incident on track warranting it, or did he just lose the car? Oh, this was coming to pit road, and look out. Wow. A mistake like that for a driver like him. Long green flag runs, because when it happens, mistakes are made, including by the best. Muhvic in jeopardy of losing the race big time. And the cycle didn't really benefit many besides Joe. 5 seconds back, maybe just a little bit more. Jeffrey Stan is hoping that there is enough time in between, but right now it still looks to be the way of the 20. There's Joe running on the racetrack. Here's Joshua Chin. The talk is still the championship bid. Cole Freilich, William Schmitt. Freilich has company. That's Dominic Barbagallo dead in front of him. And how do you navigate lap traffic? By respecting their space, so when they respect yours, and knowing that a fighter is just right there. And that of the 79. Freilich sneaks through. He's seen that he has gone into the outside wall already once in this race, as he has been up the right front. Schmitt has been on rails. Very little mistakes. There he is, trying what he can to make up what he has. 49 laps to go. Landauer, Chin, Freilich, Schmitt, Armstrong. Oh, he's closing that gap. Look at the lap for lap here. And apologies once again, the overlay showing 20 instead of 22. But that indeed is the Joseph Armstrong machine. .49, or should I say was, now 47 laps to go for Stan, a 3.8 the difference. If Joe can leapfrog him, it's going to be huge. What are the lap times? Stanton ran a 22.7, brace for this one with the fresher tires. Joseph Armstrong a 22.3. This is working lap 104. Insane. We've seen before, catching a guy and passing a guy are two different things. The idea of Stan is hoping that Joseph Armstrong tears the tires up enough, trying to get to him, to then where they're almost on a near even playing field, and he can block as well as he can to keep the 22 behind. Freilich, William Schmitt. We've watched those battles, Ryan Vargas, Hayden Walker. I think they've seen each other on the racetrack throughout the entire race. That Celsius Chevrolet, whether it's in the windshield or the mirror of Vargas's machine. It's been proven to be an interesting one at that. There's Kendall Carpenter back in 10th. Stephen Gibson back in 11th. Gibson allowing the other machines to go around. 43 laps to go. There's Muhvic outside retaining wall. The race that had so much promise for him has completely gone away. And the interesting thing is, if he would have spun on the racing surface, you know that's a yellow. 100%. That was a caution. He was going to get it. But in this case in point, he needs to either ride around, maybe come down pit road, trying to get it fixed. You just saw him come in. And I think that's putting in the towel. Armstrong a second and a half back to Jeffrey Stanton with 41 laps to go. You're watching round 14 of 15 for the OSRL Premier Series, the Runnings Racing Designs Left Front Shock GP at Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park, or better known as IRP. Purple lap time, Joseph Armstrong. And is now 9/10 back, has to find his way through the lap traffic. Catching him? Yes, he will. Passing him? We're about to find out. Freilich and Schmitt. The battle has mostly died down now. Mainly a second between the 6th and 5th positions. There's Freilich in the 15. There's Schmitt in the 79. 38 laps to go. Jeffrey Stanton, not known by much out of the NR9 community heading into this race, but I think a name that we'll all remember for quite some time. A bold strategy call. Just when the pit cycles were opening up, he took the race lead out of the cycle. Joe's ready to try to take it back. Brace for the move to turn 1. Armstrong underneath him. Stanton quick to defend. Pulls alongside him off turn 4. Stanton knows out of front contact. Armstrong into the 61. Stanton into the wall. Joseph Armstrong takes the race lead as Jeffrey Stanton loses the track position he had and the hold on the race lead. Little bump and adios with now 35 laps to go. And Joe knew he was quicker. Stan knew Armstrong was quicker. He had to do everything in that moment to defend. That was going to be a race winning or losing moment. And when they both put their chips in the middle, one came out the other end, the race leader. Let's watch back. This is on the replay. Just gets to his inside. And with that angle, it's tough that Stan come down, that Joe come up. I mean, it's just a game of inches from the looks of it. Go ahead and check one more time. From the turn 1 camera. Oh, for sure, it came down, and Joe didn't bite the way I'm guessing Stan expected him to do. I expecting the 22 maybe to run a little bit lower. Racing incidents, well, they come with long green flag runs. They come with consistency in what can move and what can't. For Joseph Armstrong, very grateful the 61 did not go around. That would have undoubtedly resulted in a yellow. And now as long as he can keep it off the fence and keep the 4 wheels pointed the right direction, it looks to all be good. Now Ryan Vargas has found his way around William Schmitt and is starting his charge in the 6th position. Well, Freilich ahead of him as of this moment, with Vargas getting in front of William Schmitt. The championship battle is now 13 points separated between Freilich and William Schmitt. 13 points separated heading into next week at Auto Club. You love the racing, you want more of it, you want to see more league racing on this YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe and notifications on so you don't miss a beat of anything on the IDK Player YouTube channel. NR Night in America and e-tickets are the home for the IDK Player YouTube channel, and we are really considering league night to be a part of it. Maybe showcasing different leagues, maybe getting the rights to one league and we get to watch the entire season unfold. Maybe it's a Monday night where we get that one league to hold on to. And maybe the Thursday night is we find a league out there and showcase their racing, showcase their excitement, so you can continue to follow and we can continue to grow the iRacing community as a whole, because NR Night in America is great. You see viewers and drivers from different leagues come on in and race, And same with the e-tickets, the best of the best on iRacing, the best of the best in the Internet community. Come on and race. But it's also great to see what's going on outside of that Internet bubble and the great racing we've seen tonight. Not a single caution up to this moment. And honestly saying, I don't think I would want to see a caution in those first moments, including up to this moment here, because we got to see green flag pit stops, we got to see cars coming and going, strategy calls, great drivers that you know of making mistakes, and great drivers rising to the occasion. None more recent than that of Joseph Armstrong. Another fight on the racetrack, Schmitt, Aiden Walker. Two SKS drivers, so soon to be, and that is a forecasted battle between the Toyota of William Schmitt and the Chevrolet of Aiden Walker. Should we say, yes it is, Kendall Carpenter in the 9th position. Trying, looking, wondering if an opening is present. It very much is down on the inside. Try to squeeze his way through. More contact with that of the 93. Maybe the frustration boiling just a tad between Carpenter and Walker. We've seen Aiden Walker be very aggressive, and he doesn't want to give that spot up because he knows he's a little bit quicker than William Schmitt. But he also knows Schmidt's a teammate, so he's not going to go out there and shunt him out of the way. So how is he going to race him? He's going to race him with respect. The only problem is there's someone behind that isn't a teammate and would love that spot. Look at the dive bomb down into turn 1. Carpenter, Walker. OSRL, a racers league, where if you love sim racing, you love iRacing, the show that's put on is strictly the racing product. Stan and Armstrong. At one point, Stan had nearly a 6, maybe 8-second gap. He has now lost 4 seconds on Armstrong after the contact. Carpenter finds his way around Schmitt and also finds his way around Aiden Walker. Don't be surprised if Walker is holding back on passing the 79, knowing every spot will be important. And what they're hoping for is Ryan Vargas to catch Cole Freilich and maybe even pass Cole Freilich. And hope Freilich doesn't catch anyone else. There's the 43. Braden Lindor. Lindor, not a lot talked about today with him in the Polaroid Chevrolet. Running a little bit deeper in the field. At least for the first half. Had a great strategy call. Got him up to the 4th position. Now currently finding his way to the inside of the driver. He is looking to put at least 1 lap down. Schmitt running in the 8th position. How does that compare maybe to Freilich? Schmitt dropped a 23.341, Freilich a 23.087. And when you have a short track this late in the schedule, things tend to be a little bit more bold, or should we say very interesting, because you can have a caution-free race like you see right now, or it could be the exact opposite, and it's caution after caution, and you just don't know what to do. You don't know how to strategize for that. And in this case, I think Freilich just said, I'm going to meet right in the middle. Once again, William Schmitt having to start from the 22nd position, not the qualifying effort he wanted. Freilich did have the jump on him, able to qualify a little bit better, where the track position was already gifted by the start of the race. Schmitt had to do the dirty work his way through the field quickly. Very much did so. But now it's starting to feel the effects of what happens when you don't qualify the best. The strategy has to change, and he'll now go 1 lap down to that of Joseph Armstrong. 16 laps remaining in the Runnings Racing's designs. Left front shock GP here at IRP. Walker in 9th. Will he make a move around William Schmitt? Who's just behind them? How about Jack Painter? can Painter catch up? Because the lap times of Painter are a little bit better than that of Schmitt and Walker. Running a 23.1 while Schmitt just ran a 23.23. 14 laps to go this time by. Here's Stanton, 6 seconds back. Joshua Chin in the third position. Braden Lindor in the fourth spot. Cole Frelick there in fifth. And Ryan Vargas has caught Frelick, and quickly now separated by a car length and a half. That's the difference between fifth and sixth. Every spot will matter. This is all consistent points. So pretty simple. With it being a consistent points format, how you ran at the beginning of the season will affect how you run at the end of the season. And every spot matters. I think that's why you don't see the urgency out of Aiden Walker to go up there and pass the 79. Painter is there, and he's ready to roll. Aiden Walker, Jack Painter. Painter to the inside. And Walker knows if that 97 finds a way through, Schmidt's going to be vulnerable. Contact and a spin. Painter goes around off the exit of turn 4, slams the inside wall, and it will bring the first caution out with 10 laps to go. Oh my heavens. Just when you thought we were going to see the greatest thing in racing, a caution-free race, something happens late and it's going to open up the floodgates. The thing about Joe is he put a lot of guys a lap down. He put Schmitt a lap down. Did he catch Kendall Carpenter before then? No. So Schmitt is most likely going to get that free pass. And that is huge, knowing that Walker did not go out there and pass the 79. Changes everything this race has to offer. So Schmitt will be on the same lap as Cole Frelick. Vargas did not get away around the 15. Stan Armstrong. We know how quick Stan was early in this race. What happened? How did it happen? And oh boy, is it going to change a lot? I believe so. Watch Painter. He's there. Steven Gibson, the driver of the 21, to the inside. Driving the Toyota Corolla. And there you can see the 21 coming up the track. Just getting into him. Look at the moves by the 63. Henry Koloff. Finding his way through, and one mistake deeper in the field will put jeopardy in the hands of Joseph Armstrong if he wants to win this race. He has led the most laps. He was challenged for position multiple times, but around lap 35, when he found his way around that of Jeffrey Stanton, we all thought this was going to be his race. This was going to be a show. Joe came in, so did Stanton. And the way this is going to cycle out is interesting. Here's Gibson and the drivers that are staying out to get the wave around, and William Schmitt. Oh man, it's going to be fun to see what he can do with that lucky dog. Because of that, Schmitt will restart 8th. Behind Lindor. Still figuring out how they're going to cycle this thing through, but he's going to have a shot at Cole Frelick. They'll be on even tires with just a handful of laps remaining. Well, for the ones that have tuned in for the finish, get ready, because this one's going to be exciting. They'll get ready to line up 2 by 2 as the drivers go for the wave around. And we are projected, I believe, to get maybe 5 laps, maybe even less. I believe 4, maybe 3. Wind is here if we get the one to go. We get the one to go here. So a 4-lap dash to see who wins the semifinal race at IRP. Pace car makes a hard left onto pit road. Crowd on its feet just one more time. How does the finish to the Runnings Racing Designs left front shock GP ends? Let's find out. Armstrong, a bold move, gets the jump to turn 1. Standing up the track, gets into the fence. Kendall Carpenter up the gut with the move. William Schmitt goes around on the backstretch. Championship implications. And all the points he had earned, all the points he has made up, starts falling away. Joshua Chin, Ryan Vargas, Christian, should we say Kendall Carpenter. Jeffrey Stan, Cole Freilich. Freilich back to 6th. No caution. William Schmitt is in the 10th position. Drop back was lucky enough that the drivers that went around to get the wave around were not with the main competitors at the time of the restart. Joseph Armstrong will come off turn 4 to see the white flag. Talladega, 1 to go from Lucas Oil. Joshua Chin, Kendall Carpenter, Stan Vargas, they all fight. But at the end of the day, it was the dominating performance out of the Toyota that will lead them to victory lane. Armstrong wins the Runnings Racing Designs left front shock GP at IRP. Joshua Chen, Kendall Carpenter, Ryan Vargas, Jeffrey Stan run out the top 5. Cole Freilich finishes 6th. Lindor, Walker, Stephen Gibson, and William Schmitt will round out the top 10. And we'll do a quick points estimate as of this moment. Unofficially, 17 points will be the difference heading into the final race of the season at Fontana next week, Thursday. One mistake made the difference on the entire race, not just for Braden Muhvic, but also for William Schmitt. Freilich can breathe. Schmitt is going to be intense. Armstrong can celebrate because he's going to victory lane in Season 8 of OSRL. A big win from Indianapolis. Joe doing burnouts around the racetrack. Big time win. Wouldn't be surprised if one day he becomes an OSRL champion. How many laps did he lead? You may go ahead and ask. How about 127 of the 151? And that's including green flag cycles, the fights for position between him and Muhvic, and even later in the race, when he realized the strategy was going to be on him, Armstrong comes out victorious. We're going to talk to your race winner in just a matter of moments. To the viewers that have filed on in, we say hello, welcome, thank you for tuning on in to League Night in America. That's what I think we're going to go ahead and call it. A very exciting night indeed, and definitely something we want to continue in the future. Promoting league racing throughout all of iRacing, once again waiting On that of Joseph Armstrong, we'll hear from him now. Armstrong, John Ramos, congratulations on your win at IRP.
Thank you so much. That was a fun little race. Went pretty caution-free up until about 10, went caution-free till 10 to go, and had a big enough gap to where I could take 4 and be comfortable, and we had that really wonky restart at the end, and I was able to, I guess I was just quick to react at everybody and got away.
That was really interesting. Now that caution comes out late. What are you thinking to yourself in that moment?
I wasn't really that worried, to be honest. Like, not because I thought I was the fastest car or anything, but I just had a big enough gap to like the second place car, to where there was a lot of lap cars in between us. So I knew we were all gonna have to pit, so that wasn't really an issue. But just in case somebody wanted to take 2 tires or do some kind of different strategy than me, I had a big enough gap to not lose too many spots. So fortunately everybody took 4, and I lined up P1 on the restart and got away.
Oh, it was very interesting indeed. Is it a little bit weird having a broadcast on a Thursday on this channel with this league, or is it something that you feel like you can get a little used to with league racing in the future being promoted?
I mean, I think league racing can be certainly an outlet to get your name out there. This is obviously your first time, so I appreciate you for stepping up to the plate and taking over given the circumstances. But yeah, it's cool that you were able to broadcast. This league has been going on for a while. There's a lot of NR drivers who race tonight, so you kind of got to see how we race in leagues, and you didn't have to, you know, we had a few cautions, but it was no wreck in the back, we stayed green moment, so that was pretty cool. But yeah.
Well, here's the big thing. You and OSRL, you never won a championship. What does it take to win a championship here?
Well, unfortunately, I'm too far out, but you just gotta be consistent. I think Cole is leading the points, or he is close to having it locked up. Pretty much just has to run like top 15 next week at Auto Club, and he's got it. So just consistency. Obviously, you have to run up front with it. I had a battle with Braden a couple seasons ago where he won a lot of races, I won a lot of races, and it came down to just who could finish the best when they weren't winning, and he ended up beating me out by I think like 13 or so points. But top 5 to death, top 10 to death, and you'll find yourself at the top of the standings if you run every race. So yeah.
Well, it was exciting to go ahead and watch. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
We'll continue to interview the drivers as they run on down. We'll talk to Josh Chin in just a moment. Matter of fact, we got him here. Josh Chin, John Ramos, congratulations, runner-up.
Thank you.
Now, it didn't look like you were going to be up there running for the win. Matter of fact, you were really pulled in around that 6th to 11th place spot. The fights early on, how much did that impact the chances of possibly going up there and contending with the top 3 early within the first 30 or 40 laps?
Oh, it definitely hurt a lot. I was spending the first like 30 laps trying to get around Harry, and I just couldn't get him, and finally worked him over and got him, and then it was just kind of no man's land, not really anywhere to go. And Joe and Braden were 9-10 seconds up the road, so I just kind of vibed the rest of the race from there.
And then the late race caution hits, the strategy call to make your way, but I believe it was to pit road, if I'm not mistaken, and then you had to fight everyone else. What was it like having to fight, but also knowing, okay, now we have a chance to possibly go out there and win the race?
It was interesting. I feel like I might have had a little bit better shot with the restart not doing what it did there. The green came out super early and kind of threw everyone off. Joe got away, but be able to get second out of it was nice. Haven't made a ton of starts this season, so just kind of run around, see what I can do. That worked out pretty well, but just that last restart was pretty intense, trying to fight with Kendall and hold him off.
Well, it was fun to see. Now, a P2 here, what is it going to take for you to go to Auto Club and end the year off with a win?
Hopefully just run as well as I did there last time. Me and Joe basically fought the whole race, and I burned my stuff off a little bit more early, so hopefully run the same way I did last season there, and instead of finishing second, finish first.
Well, it would be very, very fun to see. Congratulations being runner-up.
Yep, thank you.
That's Josh Chin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk to the driver who finished third in Kendall Carpenter. Kendall Carpenter, John Ramos, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you, John.
Hey, man, one of those races, right? You're running 13th, 14th, maybe 12th. Cycle comes in. You had a really good net gain on it, and then a late race caution throttles you up to the third place position. What a topsy-turvy race we had with just one caution.
Yeah, it was. I pitted late on the final pit stop. I was making my way through the field. I was catching Cole and I think Ryan Vargas were like a top 5, and that caution came out. I passed them both on pit road and was able to survive that crazy restart.
Oh, it very much was exciting. The pushing, the shoving, and you got their way through the final 4 laps. What's going through your head as a driver, knowing that you can go up there and take spots, but you also need to make sure you don't lose the one you currently have?
Yeah, I took fuel on the pit stop. I was really loose, and I was just trying to hang on. Chin guy in front of me, I just couldn't get around him, but I was just trying to hang on, trying to get every position I can, hoping that Cole and William Schmitt crash so I can sneak in and maybe race for a championship in the final race, but it didn't come to fruition this time.
It's very unfortunate that it did not, but hey, a top 3 and finishing on the podium here in the semifinal race is something to be very excited about. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you finally, John.
Oh, yeah, it very much is. And that was Christian Kendall, ladies and gentlemen. So glad. You've been racing with us for a little while. We finally got the opportunity to. That is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I get my win in our night. I didn't talk to you, so.
It was because that was the race 5. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, race fans, we want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned on in. Let's go through the running order just one more time before we call it a night. But what a fantastic running here with OSRL as they ended the semifinal race. Joseph Armstrong winning by just over half a second over Joshua Chen. Kendall Carpenter with Ryan Vargas. Jeffrey Stan finishing in the 5th position after a bold strategy through the cycles to nearly slot in the 2nd spot. Cole Freilich, championship leader, finishing in 6th with Braden Lindauer, Aiden Walker, Steven Gibson, and William Schmitt finishing up the top 10. Schmitt may be in a big must-win situation come Auto Club. You'll find out next week, Thursday, if that is the case. Jack Painter finishing 11th with Harry Gundel, Nolan Stanford, Henry Koloff with Chris Bravaklis. Oh, we're going to destroy that name. We're going to continue to. But hey, Mo Perry finishing 16th. John Daniels, Christian Baker, Noah Carmichael, and Dominic Barbagallo rounding out the top 20. Michael Diach, Braden Muhvic, who led laps, finishing in the 22nd position. Jonah Maliskak with Ruby Estes, Isaac Johnson, Gavin Newton, Gabe Wood, and Jonathan Oates running out the top 28. Well, race fans, that was racing with OSRL. And our night in America will be back tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central for the Friday night action, where we get 4 great car track combos, make it 3. And if we hit 150 likes, we will get a 4th one. If you enjoyed League Racing on this YouTube channel and you want to see more of it in the future, showcasing League Racing throughout NR Night, or should we say around the iRacing community, drop a like, subscribe, and make sure to let us know in the Discord and in the comments below that you want to see more League races broadcasted on this channel. With that, we say good night, and we'll see you tomorrow, once again at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, as this has been the semifinal race, round 14 of 15 at IRP for OSRL. And we want to thank once again everyone for tuning on in for the Runnings Racing Designs Left Front Shock GP. Good night, everyone.